Good morning. How are you today? I am fine. Thank you for asking. I haven't done one of these vlogs in a while, and I wanted to just kind of sit down and give a quick everything update all at once. Everything all at once. So first off, next week I'm going to TwitchCon, and I'm leaving extra early. And I'll explain more about that later. But there's a lot of cramming that I'm going to be doing over the next couple of days. Next couple of days being today, tomorrow, the day after, and then I leave, right? So there's a lot of stuff we'll be cramming in those days. Trying to get ahead on Indie for Breakfast episodes. Trying to get this BFF report that I'm working on, get that wrapped up. And so yeah, there's a lot of stuff that I'm cramming. So TwitchCon, I'm gone pretty much like Tuesday through the following Monday. I come back like late Sunday, and then Monday we'll kind of be back to normal. What is the cat doing? Um, so there's a box over there, and that was probably her hopping into it because it's a box and she's a cat. So first off, I have a list here. So we'll start at the top. New PC. I'm building a new PC, and thank you to Tannerus for sending me the CPU. It was a 6800, and it's gonna kick things off. Or I did kick things off, and the only thing I have left now, I have the motherboard, one of the hard drives I need, one of the backup hard drives I need, and I can pretty much repurpose a lot of other things from the current PCs, plural, that I have. Right now, my setup is 3820 going into and then the streaming machine is an i5. So there's two problems there. The 3820, even though I have an OC to 4.5 gigahertz, which is not going to last, obviously, that thing is starting to show its age. And there's a lot of things that, I could just basically quality of life stuff. And also, games are getting a little more intense, so I have to figure out a way to bump that up. I already have a 980 Ti, so graphics wise, I'm still good to go for another year and a half or 2 years. The streaming PC is what's really lacking. It's an i5, and I mean that's all I need to say. And it is suffering with the most basic of overlays. If you notice, whenever I stream, I have a super basic overlay, really like plain text, which I did initially. The idea was to set up something so it's like really plain, so it's not too obtrusive or intrusive, or either one. The reality ended up being that I couldn't really do anything cool, which included like cool like transitions and everything. The transitions choke the machine. If somebody pitches me bits, the animation that plays for bits, like that chokes the machine. It's all like, oh, the processor, blah blah blah, and in some cases it drops audio or it'll drop whatever. So the streaming machine needs to be fixed, and the way I'm going to do that is new PC is going to become the primary gaming PC, and then primary gaming PC now is actually going to become the primary streaming PC. So that is going to resolve. Whoops. A lot of things. It's going to resolve. Oh, I'll just make a ton of noise. Sorry, I'll put this right back in my pocket. That's going to give me a lot of power and flexibility with the streaming machine, so I can do crazy overlays and all that good stuff. And then it's also going to give me the ability to do better like multi-source stuff. And by that I mean like anything that maybe I feel would be augmented by or like enhanced by a secondary video capture source using like a webcam or something like that, I could do that with a secondary PC fairly easily and keep the workload streamlined. So I can actually, what I could do is instead of capturing video secondary to like a DSLR, which one, they overheat after like 15 minutes or so, and two, it's another file I have to bring in and put into the thing. But a webcam will always sit there. And I also, obviously, the number three would be I have to actually set it up every single time I want to use it. Webcam, I could just leave it sitting there. So I have a really nice C930E Logitech webcam, so that's something I want to be able to utilize and keep it streamlined. So I can record the right XSplit, and then I can move the file over the network to the main PC and edit into whatever I want, kind of like I did for the VR stuff. If you saw the VR stuff, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Stargazer. I have the Razer Stargazer coming in soon. I'm not endorsing it. The only thing I'm saying that I've said so far is that it worked really well in the less than ideal conditions that they had it demonstrated at Razer HQ here in San Francisco. So hopefully it performs that well or better, because that was a long time ago. That wasn't even like the final product. So I should get that probably while I'm at TwitchCon, of course. So when I come back, I'll take a look at it. And if I feel it's something I want to cover in terms of actually give like a review on it, I definitely will. You guys know I'm into the video, lighting, all that good stuff. So I will absolutely push it and see what it is that it can and cannot do. So more on that coming soon. That's going to be a critical part of the new overlay and all that stuff. Because right now I have like a little box window, and then you can see like all my garbage in the back, and I kind of want to clean that up a little bit. I also have a new light arch being built. It's a huge, like 3D printed arch. I go like this, but in reality, it's like kind of like this, and then hands off, and then it's excuse me. It's gonna span like my entire desk, and it's lined with two layers of two parallel strips of LEDs, and it's going to give me a kind of a shadowless overall look to whatever I film, right? So whether it be webcam stuff, streaming, whatever, it's gonna be shadowless, and that's amazing. That's actually being 3D printed right now by Inferno 256 in Discord. As most of you guys, obviously everybody knows him. So he's printed that up for me right now, and then he's gonna ship it to me. Then I put it together, and then we're gonna put the strips on all that stuff. But what's beautiful about that thing is it's gonna make it really easy to light anything because it's an arch, kind of like a ring light, right? Because it's an arch, there's basically no shadows. Shadows are being eliminated all over the place. So it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. So that's going to be also part. So basically in the next month or so, there's going to be a massive change to my main PC and the streaming PC. The other thing, we have some pretty cool things that has some pretty cool things in mind to do with the new machine. One of the things I tried testing a while ago, maybe you guys remember the Warframe slow-mo thing that I did. That was a huge pain in the ass to capture because I didn't really have the hardware to capture at Warframe at 120 frames per second. Now with the new PC, I could do that. I think it'd be kind of cool to just like supplemental content. It'd be kind of neat to be able to go through and kind of piece together these like super slow-mo like just replays or whatever. Think like Battlefield 1. Everyone's posting all these things for Battlefield. Yeah, Battlefield. All these like crazy action scenes or screenshots or whatever. Imagine seeing all that stuff moving in like just hyper slow motion. That's something I feel is possible using the right hardware, and this machine would give me kind of like the last piece I would need, which is a better, basically a better pipe to actually record all of that footage down at that speed that I need. So that'd be kind of neat. So that's just one example of a billion things that could be possible once that new PC stuff comes online. So. Woo! All right. In terms of the video games, for the video game Patreon perspective, so the Patreon's going well. It's going really well. The things that I have that we brought back, and this case I can say we because that's Patreon supported. Is Darnell. Darnell's back, and the way I want to do Darnell is just little skits here and there. Get in, play WoW. There's always little things that are happening that I feel like would make kind of a great little skit. Kind of like the invasion thing, right? I don't necessarily want Darnell to cover the news every week or anything like that, because then what happens is you end up kind of like really bullshitting your way through half an episode, just to get to like a funny skit. If you watch Blizz Blues, you know what I'm talking about. Like you have usually like a minute of Darnell bitching about something Blizzard did, and then cut to like a skit. And so I'd rather just stick with skits. In the skit could be current, commentary on things that are happening, in the WoW meta world. Totally like possible, and so that's kind of things I plan on doing. First step now would be, or the next step now would be getting Darnell to 110. But along the way, I'm going to be recording little things from little missions and quests and stuff that he comes across. So that'll be fun. BFF report is in full swing. We're good. We got new graphics. We have new theme song. We have that's pretty much it. There's a lot of things going on with the BFF report right now in terms of like episodes. They're putting them out and they're doing really well. You guys seem to really, really, really enjoy them, and I'm so glad. The format hasn't died. Like it's not long form, blah 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 blah, da da da. That watches it go through this, takes me 30 minutes, say something I could have done in 3 minutes. It's not like that. It's clear, concise, very quickly edited. All the information you need in 10 to 20 minutes, and it's really in depth. And so that's stuff that I'm glad you guys are liking. The next one I have lined up is Battle Right. Battle Right is the Bloodline Champions sequel, essentially spiritual successor made by the same guys. So it's like BLC Junior, and it is doing pretty. I mean, it's pretty good. There's a little quirks here and there, but it's pretty good overall. I have a BFF report going for that. I don't think I'll have time to do the actual host stuff before I end up leaving, but I will absolutely get you guys, at a minimum, the edited video, the meaty part of the episode. I'll get you guys that for sure. which is the most important part. You guys don't necessarily need to see my face every time, I guess. And Any for Breakfast is doing pretty well. I have some ideas to do. This plays into the separate, the multi-stream setup for streamlining and everything with the multi PC. Is adding like a cam for it. And being able to basically take breaks and talk about what's going on in the game instead of it just being straight gameplay. And we'll see. There may be other changes that I make to the actual to the overall format of Indie for Breakfast. It's still kind of going through changes. The first minute or so is like really nice. It's like it kind of just tells you what's going on. This is what it is. This is what it is. Boom, and it's done. Maybe we extend that out. Maybe we make it a 3-minute show where it's kind of like that crazy edited, really fast. This is what it is. This is what it is. It needs help here. It needs help here, or it does really well here, etc., etc. Pros, cons, and then boom, 3 minutes and it's done. Highly edited, done. Right, finished. We'll see. I'm still gonna play with it. It's still like the bread and butter show of the channel. So we'll see. I'm open to your guys' suggestions, by the way. Anything you guys are thinking of. But I think that adding a cam might actually help during certain parts, especially parts where I run into shit when I'm not paying attention, because that happens all the time. No changes planned for Don't Get Your Hopes Up, because it's Don't Get Your Hopes Up. But if we made changes, that would kind of go against the whole context and purpose of the show. New album coming. Yes, there's a new album. A lot of you guys already know. I'm working on an album. It's called Dea, and Dea is going to be a collection of ambient and kind of like game soundtracky type stuff. It is a lot of things are still kind of in flux, but I have probably about like 10 songs that are good to go right now, with maybe the minorest of tweaks that need to be done to some of them. So that is something that I am looking forward to releasing to you guys. And I'm sure you guys will enjoy. Everybody that's heard what I have so far enjoys it. I'm going to TwitchCon, and usually alone time in an unknown place, like an Airbnb in San Diego, in a place I've never been. Well, not San Diego, but in an Airbnb I've never been in before, or a hotel room or whatever. That's usually a good place to just kind of sit down and relax and just kind of isolate myself and just continue writing. So I'm thinking that I'll probably have a couple more tracks to add to it, and then we'll be good to go. Look for probably a mid-October release date. If you guys are patrons or subs on Twitch, I'm going to make sure that you guys get hooked up and you guys can get a copy of the album for free. Of course, if you want to buy it anyway just to support, I'm not going to stop you there. But yeah, I'm gonna hook it up so that you guys can get the album if you guys are patrons or subscribers on Twitch. Right now, actually, if you're a sub on Twitch, or if you've been watching on Twitch, even if you're not a sub in this case, you can buy Suddenly Human, the last album I did back in January or February. You can buy that using donkeys, the point accumulation from watching the stream. So that's, if you can't afford $5 or $7, then you can probably just spend your donkeys and to get yourself a copy of the album. So I'm trying to make it as accessible as possible. Let's see. So yeah, mid-October release for that. Like here, Sunday, like running around. Come here, Sunday. Can you see her? She just came. Next up, photo shoot. The photography Patreon is doing really well. I'm so happy that it's doing well. I was like worried that I was gonna put it out, it's gonna flop, and that's gonna be it. But it's doing well. And this month, usually I do one shoot a month, and which is pretty good. One shoot, and then like really heavy behind the scenes stuff. I show the entire behind the scenes. Like, this is how I got the concept. This is how I set up the concept. This is the actual time lapse from the shoot, so you could see how we position the model, how we move the set around, how we move lights and everything. So you get a really good glimpse into the behind the scenes of the actual the shoot itself. And then of course there's the processing phase. There's the processing phase, which is which goes over how do we get down to like the last 10 images or so that we end up releasing, like out of 300. And then of course how I process them, how I use my use of color, my use of intensity within like the spectrum. It's like, okay, I want to mute certain colors and enhance others, etc. So that's something that is doing really well. And I have photo shoots coming up with like 5. I have 5 of them 5 shoots lined up. First off, there's Pocket. I have Pocket lined up for while I'm at TwitchCon. And we have a really great bloody bathtub idea. It's Halloween, so there's gonna be a number of like Halloween themed stuff. And so yeah, like we have a boudoir shoot, like lacy boudoir stuff, and then we have a bloody bathtub scene and a couple other like small, I was gonna say pocket scenes, right? Like small mini scenes that we could shoot really quick, like in between the others. She rented out a really great place for it because she was very specifically looking for a claw-footed tub, and she found one. I don't know how she fucking found one, man. Like I was like, "There's no way you're gonna find one. Like, let's come up with another idea." And she's like, "Boom!" And she linked me one, and I was like, "Holy shit!" So, yeah, we're gonna fill a claw-footed tub with blood, with fake blood. And we're just gonna throw Pocket in it and take some pictures. So that's one of the many scenes that we're gonna be doing. Next one is Vesper Von Doom. Some of you guys might know her. She streams and she's an online personality, much like Pocket. We're gonna be shooting with her, and we have a number of ideas of different things that we're gonna be doing as well. And she's a great MUA, like makeup artist. Like she clearly has been like on top of her makeup game forever. So she knows how to work that. And she's very photogenic, much like Pocket, of course. Like this is great. Like I have these. There's two, and actually all of them are very photogenic. But they're used to being in front of the camera. I think that's the key thing. Like the video camera, like constantly being on. So this is gonna make my life easy. So yeah, Vesper Von Doom. And we're still ironing out a couple of the scenes, but we have a couple of the outfits down, and I think you guys are gonna like it. It's good stuff. Then Angela is relatively new to the scene. I say relatively, like it looks like she's only done a handful of actual shoots. Not as many as I have, obviously, because I'm so sexy. No, yeah, she's only did a handful of shoots, and she's good to go. Also, she's from San Diego, so she's also good to go while I'm down there at TwitchCon. So that's 3 shoots at TwitchCon. Then after that, I'm shooting with Magdalena, who's basically Aubrey Hepburn, right? I mean, basically Aubrey Hepburn. And I have a couple of scenes already set up with her. I have this really great like Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde type thing. Not crazy makeup Mrs. Hyde, right? It's like, green and Incredible Hulk looking. Nothing like that. I was thinking more like, and my example I gave to her was Sigourney Weaver when she's possessed by Zool. Like that's like Mrs. Hyde, just very, very sexy and just very like flowing the hair, kind of like just all crazy, just like, I mean, Sigourney Weaver was hot when she was possessed by Zool. I mean, she was hot before too, when she was just regular, just kind of walking around. Dana just kind of being in a place. But that's what I want. Like, Dana and then Zool. I want that contrast. And so yeah, the Dr. Jekyll and Mrs. Hyde theme is essentially a play on essentially being shown through aggressive sexuality, right? And that's pretty much it. So that's gonna be great. And then Lindsay and I have this great like nightmare scene, like kind of a simplistic nightmare scene where we're gonna include like raven feathers and all this stuff, and it's gonna be nuts. I'm basically gonna cover. We're gonna be blowing feathers all over the studio, the living room, and Lindsay's gonna be this cat. And Lindsay's gonna be like just covered in them, and it's gonna be interesting to shoot with all that motion and movement with all the feathers and everything in the air. So yeah, 5 shoots, and Polaroids from as many of them as I could get, guaranteed with Pocket. Pocket and I already talked about it. Probably with Vesper, and no behind the scenes with some of them because some of them we're not gonna do behind the scenes. But Pocket, we wires with the Pocket. She's pretty much good to go for behind the scenes stuff, and Lindsay's always good to go for that stuff, and Angela's probably gonna be good to go, and also probably Aubrey Hepburn. We'll see. Yeah, it's gonna be a very, very crazy busy month. If you're part of the photography Patreon, I mean, getting all of that behind the scenes stuff probably won't get all of them. It's probably gonna be like kind of condensed, like to kind of go over a little bit of everything, especially if it's something that maybe I've already done. Because one of the scenes with like Aubrey Hepburn, I keep calling her that. is actually a scene I already did. Or a set I've already did, so I don't necessarily need to explain that in depth. But yeah, I mean, if you're part of that, October is going to be great for you. It really is, and some of them are probably going to bleed over into November as well. So we'll see. We'll see, man. Lots and lots of Polaroids. I actually have, I think 60 Polaroids I'm taking with me to TwitchCon. That's gonna be nuts. So that's that. So overall, lots of great stuff. Lots of stuff's happening. Lots of like everything's in motion. You know, lots of recording that needs to be done, and I'm staying on top of it. I'm staying on top of it as much as I can. Some sacrifices need to be made here and there, which is pretty much like I may not be able to raid in Destiny tomorrow, right? Because I may not have time to get raid ready. But you know, that's a small time sacrifice in the greater scheme of things. BF report needs to happen. You know, content while I'm gone needs to happen. Getting prepped for the photo shoots need to happen. All that stuff is very important, and so that's the stuff that keeps these channels and all of these outlets keeps them moving. So that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be focusing on. So that's it. And I pretty much have nothing else. So thank you very much for paying. I'm trying to think like, did I forget something? Because that went really smooth. No, doing good. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for everything. You guys help make all of this happen. I'm able to create these things for you guys, and you guys, for the most part, like it. And I'm able to continue doing it only because of your guys' support, your guys and gals' support. It means everything to me. So I hope to continue doing it through the holidays, through next year, for as long as I can. And that's it. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys later. Oh wait, I should do this.